Hi guys!
Welcome to our Eco Crafts with Mum and Me channel.
Today we're going to be making Easter cards. So, do you want to show what we're making today?
So today we are making these cards and this is a crayon one. It's a wax crayon one and then this one we're just using like leftover ribbons and art supplies, so like paints, different crafty stuff.
Yeah. So, really what we're doing is using the same template and idea but using different media to create different types of cards. And all of the things we're using today are just things that we've got left around the home, cut-offs, bits of material, bits of paper, wax crayons. You can do it with watercolours, paints, anything you like.
Yeah.
So, shall we get going?
Yes.
Great. So, to start with then,
I'm going with the crayon one again because it was very fun.
you like the crayon one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, you need some card.
That looks
so,
really nice.
which colour card would you like?
I would like the pink one since it's my favourite colour.
Okay, and I'm going to go with a yellow one.
Yellow.
Yeah, I've kind of stuck with Eastery colours with the pastels, blues and yellows and pinks. So, I made some templates. So, I made some rabbit shapes and some egg shapes. Which shape would you like to do today?
I would. It's hard because there's.
You can do one of each if you want and do two different techniques.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with the rabbit one first.
Okay. So, I've actually already done the cutting part for the rabbit.
Thank you.
Because it is a bit tricky. So all I did is drew around my template and then I used scissors to cut out the outline. That bit might be a bit tricky for children, which is why I went on ahead and did that, just because I thought you don't want to sit there watching me cutting. So, yes, you've done exactly what I was going to say. Choose a different colour for your template to your piece of card. So, I'm going to go with... do we go pink or green?
So what we're gonna do is, are we gonna stick it with double-sided tape first for me so I can colour it in without it like moving?
No.
No.
So, this is what you're going to do. So you're not actually going to need this until the end.
Okay.
And we'll stick it on later. What you've got to do is colour stripes onto the paper. Now, what you might want to do to help you know which area to cover, because you don't want to go...
like dots, maybe.
Yeah, you could use a pencil and then, just mark out with either some dots or you could draw yourself a box. But you want to just do a dot on each corner to start with, so we know that's where we're going to line up our template to stick it. And then we can always rub out those dots afterwards so you don't see them. So line it back up, that's okay. So that's going to help you know where to stop your colouring. And actually what I would say is probably colour slightly inside those marks. So I might just do a pencil sketch just of a box really lightly. Doesn't have to be straight or perfect. You just want to get it inside those dots so you know where your colouring is going to stay. And then you can always use your outline again of your rabbit just to double check you can't see those lines, and we can't. So you're going to use your crayons now to do your colouring inside those.
It's so hard to see it.
And well, I did do it really lightly, and you can make it darker if you want to. So whilst Grace Olivia's doing that, I'm going to start on mine, and I'm actually going to use just some cut-offs of paper and card. So I kept all of the little bits that I trimmed off my card earlier. So I made sure that my rabbit templates were slightly smaller than the card, so we get this lovely board around the edge. And all those cut-offs I've kept hold of, and I'm going to use those to create my pattern and my stripes and my rabbit. So I'm going to use double-sided tape. Now this is way too thick, but this is what I had at home and I didn't want to go and buy anything else. You could use glue if you want to, but all I'm going to do is cut off a strip, and then I'm going to cut the thick strip into thinner strips. And this is essentially going to be my glue, but it's a bit less messy and a bit easier to handle. So I'm going to stick one.
I like my
down.
blue.
Do
It's
you?
nice and dark.
I'm going to stick one down the one edge of the card next to the bunny, and it doesn't matter if it goes a bit too long, you can just snip off the excess. And then
See,
I'm
this
going
will
to do
show up.
another one
Barely shows up this one.
because it's pink.
Because it looks wet then, but it's fine.
So there's the second strip, and I'm going to keep this left over for later because I might use it to stick my bunny rabbit onto my card afterwards. And I haven't stuck that on very straight, so I'm going to pull it off and try again.
You can do it anything you like. It doesn't have to be a pattern
No,
if you don't want.
no.
And I'm just going to make mine nice and colourful, so I'm not trying to do a pattern
Okay.
because I want it to be nice and colourful.
Of course, you could use different patterns. It doesn't have to be stripes. You could do spots if you're using the crayons or the paints.
Mm.
So I'm going to pull off the paper part so it just leaves behind the double-sided tape.
I kind of coloured out a bit.
Oops. It will just mean that when you stick down your rabbit, it's going to show. Because remember, we're lining it up with the dots that you drew. So you'll get a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much.
No.
Just try and stay in that line that I drew. If you can't see it, go over the top of it a little bit if you want to. Right, so with mine, I'm now going to use the strips, and I'm just going to stick them to the double-sided tape in straight lines until that gap of the bunny rabbit has been covered. So I'm going to do just random colours, random thicknesses as well, so it's got a little bit of variety. I quite like this pink one because it's textured, so I'm going to use quite a few bits of that, I think, because I quite like having a different texture. Now, if it goes over the edge of the card like mine is, it's absolutely fine because afterwards I'm going to trim down those edges. It just makes it a little bit easier just to whack it all down, get it all on there, and then you can tidy it up afterwards.
What I like doing is to get the little bits of crayon off. I like shaking it, but if it doesn't come off, I just use my finger. Just get it off.
Lovely.
That's better.
There we go.
Do you like mine?
I do. It's really nice. I'm pretty happy with that. So there's a couple of little gaps which I could cover, but it doesn't really matter if you don't because you've got the card behind it and just the colour of the card will come through. So now I've done that, I'm just going to trim those edges just to tidy it up, just with a pair of scissors. You could use a guillotine if you want to. There we go. The other side. I quite like this way of doing the cards, because if you've got a few to do, they don't take too long. So especially if you're doing it with children and you want them to make them for family members, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, you can get quite a few done quite quickly before they get bored. And it's something that's easy to set up so you can come back to later as well. You haven't got a load of mess to have to clean up. So that's what mine now looks like, and I need to stick mine to my card. Now, like I said, you could use glue. I'm just going to carry on using the double-sided tape as I already have some ready to use. You don't have to necessarily seal it all the way around. You could just put the corners and then stick them down like that.
Nice.
There we go. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be because it's handmade. And there is my card, which I used different strips of paper for. So the other shape we had was an egg shape. This one's the easiest one to cut out. Obviously the bunny shape was a bit more fiddly. So I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to use the same technique to do the eggs.
And so I've just finished colouring it. It's kind of hard to see, but look at that. It looks amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to grab the glue out of the drawer. So if you use the glue, you can put it round the whole edge of the bunny rabbit.
Okay.
Just be gentle so you don't rip the paper. Can you carry on? Just pressing that down so it's flat.
No.
And there's my egg. Now you could write Happy Easter on it, or best wishes.
You could spell out Happy Easter with different big kind of letters we have here, if you have any.
If you wanted to make it religious, you could draw a cross in the centre of that egg, couldn't you? Or paint it. Before we started recording, did a watercolour background. So we can now add on our templates over the top, whether it's the egg or the bunny.
There we go.
So I did mine horizontally and Grace Olivia did hers vertically. So in a minute you can stick yours on. She's chosen the textured pink to go over the top. She's done the egg shape.
I'm trying to find another star, but I
Can't you find a star?
So I'm just gonna go. This is mine. Just got a bunny with some beads stuck onto it. Don't want the glue to dry out. It's hard to close.
Would you like to use the glue to stick on your egg onto your watercolour?
I was actually wanting to do the
double-sided tape for this one. Okay then. So you're going to stick it onto that side and I'll cut you some strips.
Right.
Here you go. There's all ready for you to stick on.
So we're going to do it like this?
No. You're going to do it so you can see what you're doing. You're going to do it like that.
Alright.
If I hold that down, so you want to line it up so all of those, bring it down a bit, it's a bit high. Want a little border around the edge.
Like that?
That's better. Lovely, press it down.
Oh, that feels good because of the spots. Just making my finger go up and down.
Yeah. So should we have a look at what we've made today?
Yes.
What have you got?
So, this is for our rabbit Blossom. She's the best. And this is what I made for her.
And what did you make it out of?
I made it out of Quality Street's wrappers.
Yes, Quality Street wrappers.
You can go next.
Okay, so this one I've just made out of cut-offs from cards. I did find a rabbit embellishment, which I've had in my box left over from previous years. And then the Happy Easter at the bottom is just from an old Easter card, and I've just cut out the little message to stick on and reuse it.
Right, so now this is actually from Blossom's friend Daisy, and it's just we just made it out of water and colours.
Watercolours, that's
Water
right.
and colours, and then we put some sticks there, and then Happy Easters.
Yep. I've done a similar one using the watercolours. I did the horizontal stripes, Grace DeVries did the vertical, and then I've just put a Happy Easter message, again just cutting it off old cards to reuse them.
Right, so I made this one out of wax crayons, and it's just got some beads that I stuck on, and I don't know who I'm going to send it to yet.
No, you've got plenty of choice. And then these two cards, both using cut-offs. We've got mixed media there with some ribbons, some cards, some paper. So that's my bunny rabbits. We're done.
Yeah.
So all we've got left to do is write them
Yes.
and say thank you very much for watching.
And please subscribe and
Like the video.
mhm.
That's right, give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Please have a go yourself at these lovely Easter cards. The shape that you choose is completely up to you. You can do rabbits, you can do cross shapes, you could do egg shapes. And just use up whatever you have in the home like we have. Go to town on the embellishments. Grace Livia's had great fun choosing what she wants to stick onto her cards to make them her own and make them unique as well.
Yes.
So we hope you have a wonderful Easter. Take care and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.